What's up guys, it's Kristen here today with the reader problems tag because, you know, us as readers, it's a pretty tough life. I was tagged by my book twin Brittany from Under the Radar Books, and I will link her channel as well as the original creator down below. So the first question is, you have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you choose what to read next? I would just pick whatever book I was in the mood for at that moment, which is the reason why I don't keep a TBR pile anymore, because I found in the past that I was choosing books based on what was on my shelf the longest, or feeling really guilty if I wanted to get a new release book and I had all these other ones sitting on my shelf. I know this is not for everyone, and you know what, I don't judge you if you do have 20,000 books on your TBR pile. It's just what helps my reading and how I get the most enjoyment out of my books. Question number 2, you are halfway through a book and you are not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? I am definitely committed. I have to be really not enjoying a book to DNF it, because I always feel like you can get something out of a book, and also I am really big on endings. A great ending can save a book for me because that's the last thing that's going to stick in my mind and I kind of forget the rest of it. Question number 3, the end of the year is coming and you are so close to your Goodreads reading challenge. Do you try to catch up, and how? I have never actually attempted to do a Goodreads reading challenge, as crazy as that sounds. And this past year in 2015 is the first time I've ever even counted how many books that I've read in a year. At the beginning of the year, I do like to make resolutions, but they're more broader goals, like reading more diversely, reading different kinds of books, starting a series that I've been wanting to pick up, or books that I'm really intimidated by. And the number itself has never been as big of a goal for me. I understand it is a great motivator for a lot of people, but if I was doing the challenge and I was close, I probably wouldn't worry about it too much. The next question, the covers of a series that you love do not match. How do you cope? I know this is like absolute blasphemy for a book lover, but it honestly doesn't bother me that much. As you can see, I separate my books by color, so most of the time I will separate a series anyways. I don't mind my shelves looking a little bit hodgepodgey. I feel like it kind of makes it unique and my own, and I actually purposefully got all different editions of the Harry Potter books. Again, I know I'm totally crazy with this, but that's just what I like. Question number 5, everyone and their mother loves a book that you really didn't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? Well, the first person I would go to would be my sister, because she's one of the only other avid readers that I know, and also the person who will sit and listen to me rant for hours on end. I also love to go to the reviews of it on Goodreads and filter out just the 1-star reviews and just read through them and feel vindicated. And now, since starting this channel, I have some amazing booktube friends that I can talk about books with, and I had an amazing rant about Colleen Hoover with Joss from Scribbles Reads, and it was beautiful. Question number 6, you are reading a book in public and you are about to start crying. How do you deal? I would probably close up the book and then finish it when I got home, because honestly, I would be a little bit embarrassed, and also, you know, I want to be able to feel all the feels, and if I need to bawl my eyes out, then I'm gonna do that. Luckily, this hasn't happened to me before, but I did have the opposite experience happen when I was reading Let's Pretend This Never Happened by Jenny Lawson, which is one of the funniest books I have ever read, and I was sitting out in public laughing hysterically to myself, and I looked like a crazy person. Question number 7 is, the sequel to a book has just come out, but you forget a lot of things from the prior novel. How do you deal? Do you reread the first book? Do you look up a synopsis on Goodreads? Do you skip it altogether, or just cry in frustration? I have had this happen to me many times before, and I will always just look up a synopsis of it. And also, in sequels, usually the author will give a lot of references and reminders of the previous books, so it's never been a huge problem. Next question is, you do not want anyone borrowing your books, so how do you politely tell them no when they ask? I've had some horrific experiences lending out my books. Someone once told me that their dog ate my book. But for some reason, when somebody tells me that they want to read one of my books, I just get so excited that they're interested in it that I say yes again and again and again. But if I really didn't want them to read it, I am so bad with awkward conversations that I would be a huge chicken, and I'd probably just avoid them or lie and say that I couldn't find the book. I know, I'm horrible. I just can't do it. Question number 9, reading ADD. You have picked up and put down 5 books this month. How do you get over your reading slump? Whenever I've been in a reading slump in the past, I actually just stop reading altogether because I find the more I try to force it, the less I'm going to enjoy the books. It's never been like a fear of mine that I will never pick up a book again. So I just give myself the time I need, do some Netflix binging, and when I finally do come back to reading, everything's fine again. Question number 10. There are so many books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? I would actually only buy 1 book because, as I said before, I'm pretty strict about not keeping a TBR pile, so I only ever buy or get from the library the book that I am about to read next. Which segues into the last question, that is, after you have bought this new book, how long do they sit on your shelf before you get to them? I only like a new book to sit on my shelf for about a month because I have realized through this whole process that I am like a little kid and I am most excited about a book when I first get it, and my excitement seems to go down the longer that it sits around. Also, I've been getting a lot of my books from the library lately, so I don't really have a choice but to read them right away because usually there's some kind of hold on them. So that is it for my reader's problem book tag. I know a lot of my answers are pretty different from most people, but that's kind of the beauty of it, that we are all so obsessively in love with books, but then read them all so differently. Now I would like to tag Joss from Squibbles Reads, Hillary from Your Robot Friend, and Kate from Kate Howe. And of course, I would love to hear some of your answers to these questions, so please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!